What's up, guys? So much going on right now. So I'm actually just gonna do progress video on actually a mod I'm actually working on. I'm working on an AMD build, quote unquote mod, which is based off their Radeon 6900 XT, and this is actually their Halo edition. So basically I'm gonna take the same concept they did with the actual game, kind of paint the case you see back here, which is gonna be green, gold, and black. So I'm working on some of the panels. Sorry about the dog barking. Hopefully you can deal with it. He's a freaking Chiweenie. I don't know if you guys know what a Chiweenie is. It's a Chihuahua mixed with a Winnie dog, so he is crazy. But hey, shut up. So this is from the ASA case. So this panel actually sits in the front of the case like this, and it kind of blocks the GPU. So I'm actually gonna take this, scan the measurements, and once I scan them, I'm actually gonna create my own panel. Because these slots here, this is where actually a tempered glass sits on. So I'm gonna actually have it design my own panel and actually cut all this out so you can actually see the GPU. Because the whole thing about this build is that it's for the GPU, and I want the GPU to actually stand out. So this was like one of the panels, kind of prototype here. This was all designed in CorelDRAW, and I laser cut these, and of course I used automotive paint to actually paint this. And I did some gold inlays to kind of match with the color scheme of the actual Halo build. Let me see. Oh, here. This is one of the final pieces I'm going to use. So as you can see, I kind of added a black strip on it to kind of go with the actual card itself. As you can see, it's black, gold, and green. So we're kind of giving that to kind of have more of the similar style look from the card itself. So that's what I'm actually be working on. But let me show you around what I have so far. So what I'm going to do is actually start designing the design for this here. So as you can see here, I'm actually designed this. So there's mounts back here. So I'm gonna unscrew these, scan the panel. I use the scanner to actually give me correct measurements. So I'm gonna go ahead and do in that. So once I get the actual measurements, I can actually start designing the actual panel. So now I'm actually gonna remove this lid, so I can actually get the panel and lay it on top. So much easier. So this kind of gets in the way once you actually add the panel. So you'll see it. So here's the actual panel I'm talking about. So I'm gonna actually mark a line here so I know where this bracket ends. So I know when I scan it, I'll make sure I design it from this line up and do the mounting holes for these. So that's basically I'm only gonna design this little piece here and kind of attach it onto here. And once I get this done, and then it should be pretty much good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this to the actual scanner. All right, so now I'm getting this, just marking the line so I know how far much, is that a word? How far I need to actually design the actual cut of the panel or the length of the panel. So I'm gonna actually mark this from the bracket so I know where it's at. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that for a second. So it's a simple line. So when I scan it, I know where it needs to be at when I actually cut this on the laser. So let me just do this real quick. So let me now unscrew the panel. So removing the mounting bracket here, and now I know how far where I need to actually design it. So it needs to be from up here to the actual top of the line here. So I'm gonna go ahead and line this up with the lines. As I mentioned before, I have the lines here, so I know where to design the panel. I have a preset button. It's a preset button that has say scan. So once it's loaded, so I just click scan once again. As you can see, it popped on the screen. So it actually is doing a pre-scan of the actual part. So once I get that said and done, it's gonna actually send it to Photoshop. So basically the pre-scan is done. As you can see now I actually got the measurements of the holes, their exact place and the exact accurate scale. So all I had to do now is bring this into wherever I design my panels, which I use CorelDRAW to design my panels. So once I bring this into Corel, I can start mocking up whatever design I want. I just gotta make sure that I keep the holes in the same position so it will line up perfectly every time. Alright guys, so to design this panel, since it's already scanned, all I gotta do is just trace over it. So I'm just gonna create a quick panel, but I want it where it actually ends about a little bit halfway from the tape, because I kind of want it where it's sticking out a bit more. So I'd say get that. Now all I gotta do is just do the holes. So I'm gonna actually do the holes now. So all I had to do is make sure my holes line up as far as the size of the holes that are there. All right, so that's good. So I'm gonna copy this to about there. And just need the small holes at the bottom. So let me go ahead and line this up a little bit. And scale this down. Hey, come on, buddy. Zoom in a little bit more. All right, good to go. I'm gonna just copy this one here to the other side. And there. So that panel is pretty much done. And that's pretty much how it's gonna work on this. Because I didn't want it to be too long, but hopefully you get the idea as far as the process, what I do in order to kind of create panels that are actual measurement. So it'll be less guessing. So when you're creating a custom mod or anything modification, scanning, if you find a scanner, it'll be helpful. It's a good investment if you want to get into PC building DIY as a hobby or eventually as a profession. All right guys, so I finally got everything planned out as far as the measurement of the two panels, those two small panels that will connect the bracket so you can install the tempered glass. So it was pretty much simple process. Once you get a scanner, it's pretty much as it is, you know, it gives you the actual image and it's actually to scale. So all you gotta do is just trace it over and do whatever design you want in it.